Recently I've been thinking about how important it is to have your own business because, for a long time I've wanted to have my own business. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, everybody wants to be their own boss, not have to clock in and out of hours. But, there's implications when it comes to having your own business. You're in control of lots of people and their payroll, and you're going to have to work 80, 90-hour weeks instead of 40. You have a lot of other problems on top of that, right? There's typical business problems to have. And it was like, I'm willing to take on those problems given that I don't mind working as long as I can work more and make more of that. And the business is like fruitful and I enjoy doing it, right? Because like in my head, having a business is almost essential. It's necessary. If you ever want to make a lump sum of money in your life and you don't want to work forever, you need to have a business. It's the only way out, right? Because if you really think about it, right, at a job, let's just say you had a 100K salary job, even if you had zero expenses, right, you would still pay 25, 30% in taxes. So you didn't even make 100K, and then you would have to pay off all your expenses, and then you're really left with the bare minimum. And then, emergencies come up, this and that, and your salary is kind of capped. You can never make more than that. You can only, and you're tied to working 40 hours. The upward mobility in most companies are very limited, and even if we were to move upwards, it would be like so rare for it to happen because you got to put in so much work and time, and then you got to stay at that company. You're better off. I feel like the best routes to take at a company, right, if you're going to work there, if you work at a startup, you can get rich, but those are super hard positions to get. If you were to work at a company, and then you would have to really do a lot of work and pitch a lot of ideas to the upper management if you have access to them, so that they can see that the value you bring to the table and then slowly move you up. Or the third one, which I know a lot of people typically do, is you work at a company for a year or two, you wait for a promotion. If they don't give it to you, you move to another company in a similar position that offer you a higher salary. You just keep kind of switching every 1 to 2 years, so that the salary bump typically from company to company is a lot higher than what you would get at staying at one company, because at one company it's like 3-4% of a raise or some bullshit like that. But if you switch, you can get like a 10%, 20%. But even then, you're locked in to that job for like a year or two. Your salary's capped. You got to pay taxes. You have all your expenses. And even if you move upward and you start making like super rare, let's just say you made 500K, you'll be paying 33% or like 50% in taxes. So you make 500,000 on paper, but then immediately that's only 250,000 because you're paying, the highest tax bracket. And so it doesn't make sense for someone who wants to get rich to not have a business, because of all the time and energy it takes to move upward. You still wouldn't be making the amount that you would want to be making, right? And in a business, you can move from making 10,000 a month to 100,000 to 1 million all within 1 year, right? And then businesses have tax benefits. You can work as much as you want. If you work more, typically you would make more. You can make more sales. You can sell products. Essentially at a job, you're always trading time for money. But in a business, if you set it up properly, you can trade, your product or services or your management skills for profit. And given that it's not tied to how much time you input, you can make way more than just your measly hourly rate. You're working based on project completion or the amount of products that you scaled and sold. And you need to do that in order to make more money that you ever wanted or wished for, or whatever the case may be. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't even understand how important it is to have a business. There's a reason every rich person is a business owner. The tax benefits are everything, right? Because most of the time, most of your like even if you make 25 an hour, immediately that's like 20 because of taxes based on wherever you are. And you need those tax benefits. You need to realize how to minimize how much taxes you pay, and that's what business owners do. A lot of business owners say they operate at a loss, so they don't have to pay any taxes. They buy real estate and they funnel the money in there so that they don't pay any taxes at all, because now it's there's like a form for that where like they're technically made no money on paper. But yeah, having a business is very essential. I think it's very much needed. I still do work a job and I want to have proof of my own business. Like, I don't think you should just quit your job and quit school and to start up a business and be like, yeah, I need this to all work. I was like, it's not that easy. You need to have a plan in place. You need to have a product in place. You need to have ideas. You need to have a team, and until you have a team, you're gonna need to figure out how to do everything on your own. So I think the best route is to, still go to school, just to have that safety net, and work a job if you can, to have some money in the bank account, pad your account, allow yourself to funnel money into your business, try things out until something works. And if you work a job, you realize it's really not the end of the world. You're like, maybe I'm not making as much, but it's a lot easier. I'm only working 40 hours. I have a constant paycheck, whatever the case may be. You work a regular job. You go to school so that you can get a higher salary regular job, right? And so that gives you like a safety net. And in the meantime, you need to learn how to operate a business and try to take steps in running a business. And then if it works, great, you have a business and you can just put your sole focus on that. And if it all fails for years on years on end, then you have the safety net of, you finish school, you can get a high salary job, and you still live a decent life. You're still paying taxes and all that, but you can always work on a side hustle. You can always work on things on the side, move up from company to company, move up within your own company. I think that's just the best route, because being a business owner is scary. There is risk involved. There's a lot of hours that you need to put in. So, I think the best route, it does kind of intertwine, because all business owners say you need to solely focus on your business, and still going to school and still working a job does, make you not have the most efficient stream of work flow dedicated to one thing, because you should be dedicating all your time to business. But I feel like you can't really do that if you need money and you need to get the safety net of finishing school and your business hasn't shown any proof of revenue. You're taking a big risk just full on going that way. You can if you want to take the risk and you don't have any other liabilities or expenses, but if you need the money, I think that's the best route to take. Just work a shit job and finish school. When you finish school, you'll get into a higher position job, but in that meantime, you really need to try to whatever you can to run your own business, learn about business, and just see what works.